Welcome back to another edition of Wrestling in the Basement. Thor, Brian, it's late, I'm tired, and we just got done watching Survivor Series. I had to think about that. Oh, shit. I had to think about that. Survivor Series. It was long. It was like 4 hours long. It seemed longer. Well, we watched it for 6, but the pay-per-view itself was 4 hours long.
The pretty much worthless 2-hour pre-show.
Oh, that pre-show was god. If it wasn't for if it wasn't for the Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, social media lounge segment with Tom Phillips.
But I think you could have skipped the first hour because there wasn't much in the first hour.
Oh, you could totally skip the first hour. It was only in the second hour that was worth shit. Matches in the first hour was a 6-man tag, cruiserweights. That was mediocre. It was Rich Swann. Oh, shit. TJ Perkins. Noam Dar versus...
I don't know any of
some
these
other dudes.
guys.
Tony Nese, Gulak, and I can't remember. But either way, the good guys won. The faces won. Rich Swann, Noam Dar, TJ Perkins won. It was fine. Kane versus Luke Harper. Actually, the cruiser match was It was decent. So the Luke Harper Kane match was better than it should have been.
Yeah, the first half was better, but you missed the first half.
I missed a lot of the beginning of this of all of that because I was doing other stuff. It's mostly cooking. Then we start out the pay-per-view. We got oh shit. Before we even started the pay-per-view, we watched the last match from NXT Takeover Toronto. Let me touch on this real quick. NXT Takeover Toronto was a better pay-per-view than Survivor Series, and I'll tell you why. Number one, it was only 2.5 hours long. It wasn't 4 hours long. Well, 3.5 hours long with a 2-hour pre-show. They didn't have it. They had a pre-show, but I don't even think there's a match on there. Like they just do like a quick 30-minute or maybe hour pre-show.
Right.
Bobby Roode won. Authors of Destruction, I think that's their names, or Authors of Pain, some fuck shit like that. They won the Dusty Tag Team Classic. DIY. DIY. Damn, I'm good tonight. DIY beat the Revival for the NXT Tag Team Championships. So we got new tag team champions. Asuka beat Mickie James. Mickie James is like an old diva. And then we watched the final match, which was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe. Really good match. Brutal match. Better than their TakeOver Brooklyn match.
I was going to make a joke, but it's spoilers for later in the review.
Samoa Joe ends up winning and winning and becoming the first two-time NXT champion. Shinsuke lost, but I don't really think that's detrimental to Shinsuke's run.
No.
So, but maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. So, no, that out of the way, I loved it. Give it a complete. I'll give it an A-. It was a great pay-per-view, really good pay-per-view. Probably the weakest match was the tag team Dusty Rhodes Classic, the Authors of Destruction or Pain or whatever they're called versus TM61. I think that's the other name. Honestly, I forget.
I'll be honest with you. It was good, but I feel like you put NXT on a higher pedestal than maybe it deserves. Because even that last match was solid, but I would say the Survivor Series men's match, the 5-on-5, was better than that.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Because that was 5-on-5 of your top superstars. This is 1-on-1.
I mean, even Ms. Sami Zayn was at least, I would say, on par.
Nah, the Samoa Joe Shinsuke match was better.
But this is my point. I think you put these guys. I think you raise them higher than necessarily they warrant.
I don't watch NXT that frequently. I really don't. I watch it occasionally, but I'm tuned in every week to it. I binge watched a bunch of them over the past few days leading up to the pay-per-view, but that was so I think I used to definitely when there were certain people back there, but nowadays I'm not that warm on the NXT roster. Shinsuke and Samoa Joe are probably the top two guys in there. But there was no Austin Aries versus Hideo Itami because they're both injured. So maybe we'll get that feud down the road when they both come back. But either way, so NXT TakeOver was definitely good. If you got the network, check it out. If you didn't watch it, because it was amazing. We did the pre-show crap. So main Survivor Series show. Start off with the women's. I kind of like that they started with the women's. I watched some of it. I was in and out Like, I was watching kind of in and out. But you watched more of it. What did you think of that match?
I thought it wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't amazing. It wasn't like, it didn't like blow my mind or anything. It was.
I thought it was a strong start. I thought it was a strong
agree,
start.
But I think it definitely was outshined by the men's 5 team.
Well, yeah, okay, well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Right. But I'm just saying.
But you hadn't seen the men's 5 when you. So think back to where you were just watching that.
I was still lukewarm to mildly hot on the match at that point. I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty good.
I thought we were off and running. I liked it. Nia Jax looked strong.
She looked
the
crazy
Raw women
strong.
won. It was the right call. That was a good match. I liked it. And then we got Miz versus Zayn. Had match of the night potential. Wasn't. Miz retains. Not really surprised. Actually, I tweeted before it even started. I said, everyone keeps saying the Intercontinental and the Cruiserweight are changing hands, so neither are going to happen. And, spoiler alert, neither happened. So, spoiler for something later in the thing. But Miz retains. Zayn loses. There's shenanigans, but it's a Miz match, so we expect shenanigans now at this point with Maurice and stuff. I'm fine with it. It makes sense. I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about not switching the Intercontinental and the Cruiserweights, because I think they should have done that.
See, I feel like they're more likely to just trade those 2 guys away.
But now you're going to have the Cruiserweights on both nights, so because you're going to have them exclusive to Raw, and then you're going to have 205 Live right after SmackDown on Tuesday nights. So pretty much SmackDown's third hour is a WWE Network exclusive with just Cruiserweights on it.
Right, but
realistically,
it's a WWE Network exclusive.
Right, it's not on TV. But
right.
I'm still saying, so now you're getting them on both nights. So it's a sneaky way of really not having them Raw exclusive. Right. But they'll still say they're Raw exclusive. It's whatever. Whatever. Miz versus Zayn, you liked it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid match.
It was solid. I'm glad I got that versus Ziggler versus Zayn. Yeah. Although I don't know if that would have been a better match. I'm not really sure.
I don't think so. I don't know. Ziggler's not a bad wrestler, but I feel like number one, he sells way too hard.
He is.
And it kind of ruins him for me because he looks so weak. Whole match.
Yeah, and then he comes back.
Because he's just like, and the guy barely touched him, you know what I mean? And it's like, he needs to calm down, you know?
I was happy with the outcome. I was. And then we got after that, we got the Raw tag teams versus the SmackDown tag teams. I'm not even going to say everybody who was in these matches.
Yeah, 10 versus 10.
10 versus 10. Really weird finish. The final tag teams were the Usos and Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah.
And Cesaro.
The second team eliminated was New Day.
It was a very odd. Yeah. None of the SmackDown teams got to talk at all.
Yeah.
It was Enzo and Cass got time doing a promo, and the New Day got time doing a promo. Everybody else. And then that weird backstage segment with Ellsworth and the club, and they were being all jokey when they've been running Raw saying jokes are over, fun time's over, blah, blah, blah. And then they're back there. I mean, sometimes I wonder what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean?
With the club?
Like, just in general, like, you guys write this shit. You know what I mean? Like, you've been writing it a certain way. So why would you go back on everything you've been writing for an Ellsworth joke with the club in it? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Right, especially since you could do it with, like, literally any other tag team you have.
You could have got fucking Golden Truth. Fine. You know what I mean? And had so the Raw team won. The Raw tag teams won. So now Raw's off to a killer start. Mm-hmm. You know, they got both Survivor Series matches up to this point. Then we got Kalisto versus Brian Kendrick. I fell asleep for moments of this match. I wouldn't say I slept through a chunk of the match. I saw the majority of it, but there were moments I was doing the old head nod thing. Mm-hmm. It was an all right match.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was, again, another sort of middle. Honestly, there weren't any super awful matches at this point in the pay-per-view. Everything was pretty at least I would argue a C plus.
Passable.
B,
everything was
you know?
passable up to this point.
Right.
I wouldn't say there are any horrible matches on the whole card. We'll get there at the end.
Right, but I don't want to spoilers in case one of these was secretly awful.
Kalisto, Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick wins. Obviously, I spoiled that earlier because the cruiserweights stay on Raw. Kalisto loses, but he looked good in the match.
Yeah.
I could see him going to Raw. Or at least being part of 205 Live.
You know, like
Somehow-
maybe being traded for Sami Zayn, like they talked about. Who said that? There was someone.
No, you said someone saying Cesaro or somebody else. But no, the Kalisto for Sami Zayn, I would be okay
That's
with
exactly what I said right when we were done. I was like, oh, so they'll trade Kalisto for Sami Zayn.
Wait,
No, that would never happen.
When we were done watching that match?
Yes.
When I was asleep?
No, you were awake.
I don't know
Because
about
you said,
that.
no, that's not going to happen. And then I just said it.
I don't remember any of that. Purple Cup in full effect, So, whatever. No, that would make sense though. You're a genius. So sensitive. But yeah, no, that works. I would be cool with that because now you could have Miz versus Zayn feud building. Kalisto can go be a cruiserweight.
Did you mention that Baron Corbin?
Yeah, I was gonna say, but Baron Corbin came out and screwed. Yeah, no, Baron Corbin comes out at the end,
And then there's going to be repercussions for him or
right.
something.
So now you're kind of building a feud for Kalisto and him, but they've already had a feud and nobody cares about that feud. So Corbin comes out, squashes Kalisto, gets disqualified, which is why they lose the match. That was kind of shenanigans, not shenanigans, but it's a weird way by disqualification to lose, not having the cruiserweights on SmackDown. You know what I mean? And Corbin kind of screwing SmackDown over, like his own show. But then he was
said
like,
he doesn't care.
But he said he's like, I don't care, and I don't want all these little, punks running around or something
Right.
like that, or all these bugs or something. I don't remember what he called them. But he was talking
It
to
makes
Daniel
sense
Bryan.
for his character.
It does. And if they're gonna put more of a focus on his character, great. I
And
would love to
it
see that.
establishes him further as a bad
As a
guy.
dick, yeah. So I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. So then we get to match of the night, which I'm already just saying match of the night because we
I
already
won't
kind of said
disagree.
it.
Yeah.
We got the Raw men versus the SmackDown men, 5-on-5, all the big names, everyone you want to see.
And some randos.
It did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. I mean, it was everything. Everyone got a chance to shine in that match. I don't think anyone.
What's his face?
Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Ellsworth eliminates Braun Strowman. It was magical. He was holding his leg under the apron.
Then he just goes limp as he's tossed into what was supposed to be three tables destroyed.
Yeah, he goes through one table.
Yep.
Which is fine. I mean, either way, it was great. That was great. Shane O'Mac got annihilated. I hope he's all right. Like that dude, he took an awful spear.
There was a few times he got hit, like where I was like, I don't know how Shane O'Mac's doing right now.
Ambrose got kind of fucked because he got eliminated first and early, and but then he came back out. And then he screwed AJ, and then Shield reunion, powerbomb through a table, crowd loving it. AJ eliminated. So now you're down to the Wyatts, or Orton and Wyatt versus Rollins and Reigns.
Yes.
Right? And then Rollins goes out next. Rollins gets done in next, right? He gets taken out. Who'd he get taken out by? I forget.
I don't remember either.
RKO. Remember, he got the RKO out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
He jumped off the top rope, and Orton caught him. RKO out of nowhere. He's done. And it looks like Reigns gonna squash the Wyatt family, go Super Cena on it, and the crowd hating every second, just booing and booing, and you can literally sense like them just getting more and more upset as it continues. So then, Reigns goes for a spear. Orton pushes Bray out of the way, takes the spear. Wyatt comes back, hits Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3. Crowd goes fucking nuts. Bray won. It was perfect. Luke Harper came out. There is some stuff with that too. I mean, there was so much that happened in this match. Definitely match of the night. It ran about 40 plus minutes. Yeah. It was long. Like I said, you got Shield reunion. There's so much in this match.
Jericho and Kevin Owens getting kicked out.
The list getting destroyed. Oh my God, what repercussions is that going to have? There's so much. They set up a lot with what happened in these matches. They really did. That match, obviously, match of the night. Not a bad moment in that match. I didn't think. I thought everything, the crowd getting on Reigns for sleeping, and then telling him to wake up and stuff. Dude, the crowd was hot. Toronto was hot tonight.
No, they were hot before anything.
Oh, I know. I meant all night, not just that match.
2 hours, but it's the pre-show just started, and people are shouting and like doing whatever, and there's only like 10 people in the freaking stadium, and they're already screaming.
It was rowdy up in Canada tonight. Them Canucks were getting rowdy.
They were excited after that NXT.
All right, so then all the build up, all the hype, everything, weeks and weeks and weeks, in promo after promo after promo. They cut a long video montage. You got your video package in. Brock comes to the ring. Goldberg comes to the ring. And 2 spears and a jackhammer later. 1, 2, 3. Match is over within 2 minutes. Literally,
you missed the shove. There was a shove.
Okay, a shove, 2 spears, and a jackhammer. Match over. So that means the vignette leading up to it and the entrances were technically longer than the match itself.
I was going to say, back when we were talking about NXT, Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance was probably longer than that Goldberg
Brock
Lesnar
his
match.
entrance was the shit. It had the violinist. It had like 6, 7 violinists. They were all in the ring.
But it was longer than the main event.
The crowd, too, with his like, dun, when they chant his music, dude, it's nuts. I think he's coming up. I think Shinsuke's coming up. Like, that's why I think he lost the belt, is because they're bringing Shinsuke up, especially if they're trying to get this big like Asian drive. I just see Shinsuke coming up before Samoa Joe at this point. I really do. But yeah, so Goldberg destroys Brock, just destroys him.
Not even a single suplex.
Nope, not one. Not one. It was 2 spears and a jackhammer. I told you, 2 spears and a jackhammer. That was the match. It was shocking. Everyone's talking about it. They'll keep talking about it. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen next. Everyone's going to watch Raw tomorrow. WWE did its job. Love it or hate it, love or hate what just happened at Survivor Series, you're going to watch tomorrow. You want to know what happens next.
Yeah. Why the fuck they ruined another main event?
I don't know that they ruined it. I don't know that they ruined it. Okay, now I can see both sides of it. They built Brock to be this giant beast, crushed the streak,
it's just
crushed
so short.
Cena. No, I understand. But I'm saying they built Brock up to be all this, and then to have Goldberg pretty much almost squash match him in one of the big 4 pay-per-views with that hyped of a match. Now, Goldberg did hurt his shoulder on Raw. Could he not physically do any more than what he gave? We don't know. But he also got on the ropes and said, "I'm back." And then the weird stuff happened, and he brought his son into the ring with his son not having a shirt on, and the internet's not been nice to that guy. The internet was being really mean. I was like, damn.
I assumed.
It was rough. I was like, man, internet, come on. Class it up, guys. Class it up.
Otherwise, you're getting 2 spears and a jackhammer.
Honestly, I don't even know if I love or hate the ending at this point. I honestly couldn't tell you how I feel about that ending. All I know is it wasn't expected. It was a twist. It's something we'll always remember. Like, it's a moment you're gonna remember. And honestly, and we're all intrigued on what's gonna happen next. So I don't know how this is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yes, they ruined Brock kinda, but I don't think they really ruined Brock though. I did see a great tweet. If anyone thought Vince forgot about those steroids Brock took, oh, he remembered. That's why I just got freaking squash match on Survivor Series with Goldberg. But who knows? Maybe it sets up a third match. For what reason? Like Brian said, now it's 2-0 Goldberg, so why set up a third match? Unless you're going to have 5 matches, and I don't want to see 5 matches between these two over like the next 6 months.
I mean, Goldberg was looking big,
but at the same time, is he coming back full?
I mean, the amount of sweat dripping off that bad boy after 2 spears and a jackhammer. I don't know.
Is he coming back part-time, full-time? Is he going to be wrestling Undertaker? This week, oh man, there's a lot of unanswered questions coming out of Survivor Series. I have more unanswered questions coming out of Survivor Series than I thought I was going to have.
Yeah.
And I think that's a win. I'm gonna give this pay-per-view, I'm gonna give Survivor Series a B. I'm gonna give it a B. Yeah, solid B. It was good.
I'll give it a B too.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I figured you were gonna be a little bit more harsh on it.
No, good, not great. You know, solid matches, nothing special. But when you're having the brand stuff like that and you don't build feuds, it's
Right.
hard to tell a great story.
Well-
look at Kendrick and Kalisto. They put on a fine match,
Right.
but that feud had no build. It was just, okay, these two are going at it for
And
this
honestly,
stakes.
all the Survivor Series matches, I would argue, were some of the better matches.
I'd say realistically, the men's one overperformed, the other two underperformed. So I think they almost like come out.
I think the women's was still pretty solid.
No, it was solid. Okay, I guess the tag team.
And that
no,
one
the tag
wasn't-
team one was good too.
That's what
You're
I'm
right.
saying.
They were pretty good. The Survivor Series matches were good.
And that's realistically all they needed. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't need Goldberg Brock. That was to get you to watch.
Well,
they didn't need the belts switching from one brand to another. They needed these 3 Survivor Series matches to be good.
And they needed
that's what they were.
needed to have somewhere to go after this. And and we got all that. And the Brock Goldberg thing is just,
It was supposed to be the cherry on top.
Hey,
and cherries are
still,
short. They're small.
I'll say this. I like the end of Survivor Series better than I like the end of SummerSlam.
I would agree.
There you have it. So until next time, deuces.